I want to thank you for having us out tonight. This is a great forum, and I want to tell you a little bit about the college. I'll start with the history. On February 8, 2005, Senator Don Balfour put together a bill to create the college. It was an unnamed college. We were the only county east of the Mississippi without a college, the largest one without a college. And I actually worked for the Senate at the time, so I was on the floor when Senator Balfour created the college. But we almost weren't the Grizzlies. So Senator Balfour went on the floor of the Senate that morning, and he was sort of bragging and saying, I've got this bill, nobody's gonna mess with it, it's gonna pass, 56-0. Never do that around a bunch of politicians. So there was a floor amendment. Senator Balfour was not amused. The floor amendment said that the new college would be named Don Balfour University, and as their mascot would be the green tree frog. This particular senator had worked with a group of fifth graders earlier in the year to make the green tree frog the state amphibian. The students were learning about how a bill becomes law, and so they went to the senator and asked him if he would sponsor this piece of legislation. So we were almost the green tree frog. Luckily, Senator Smith, come on. See, I bragged too soon, withdrew his amendment. So we became the Grizzlies, and that was named by the students. Okay, come on. Well, I know. Okay, well, anyway, so we will just continue. So the college was created, no name, no president, no nothing, except a couple of buildings over on the other side of 316. And we had a mission, which was to provide access to targeted baccalaureate level degrees that met the needs of this growing and diverse population in Northeast Atlanta. We are an access institution, which basically means if you graduate from an accredited high school with a 2.0 average, we will take you. When we first started, before we were accredited, we would let you come in if you could fog up a mirror. But now we've gotten a little tougher since we got accredited. And we were accredited in just under 3 years. Usually accreditation takes 5 to 7 years. So, and we think in the whole nation, we set that record. So you can see that the County of Gwinnett donated 160 acres to form a college, and we opened in 2006 with 119 students. Today we have 11,700, somewhere thereabouts. So obviously there was a need for us, and so we have been very successful. And I will tell you, today they did what they called purging. If you didn't pay, you don't get to come to school. There were about 750 students on the purge list. 400 of those students had access to financial aid, so they're going to be okay. But the rest of them, about 358 of them, most of those students, in fact almost all of them, have owe less than $300. One of them owes $1.07. So we're going to take care of them and help them along with their financial issues. But you see what we're dealing with. We have students most of our students are first-generation college students. And I'll tell you a little story. About 5 years ago, I guess, it was our first winter graduation. A student came to us and asked for 40 tickets to graduation. It was held indoors because it was after fall semester and it was cold. Every student got 10, and he wanted 40. And so we asked him, why do you want 40 tickets? And he said, I'm the first person in my family to go to college and the first one to graduate. And so on graduation day, his whole family was sitting in the audience. And when he walked across that stage, they all stood up and cheered. And I've told this story 100 times, and it still gives me chills. And he pointed to his little brother and he said, you're next. So we're changing a life we're changing a family, we're changing a community. And it's just absolutely amazing. We had another young lady that graduated last year who was living in her car. She was literally living in her car. She had no place to live. Some of the professors found out about this, helped her out. She is now teaching in the Gwinnett County Public Schools. So it's pretty amazing the things that we are able to do. How'd you advance this? And I'll do it manually. Okay. So I told you about our mission and our vision. Our vision is to educate students in an amazing way, and I think that we have proven that we are doing that. There are academic programs. There's just 14 of them. We just recently added chemistry and nursing. We opened our, it's actually open now, but officially opened our Allied Health and Science building, which will house our sciences and our nursing program on the 22nd. The governor's going to be here, so we're excited about that. So I want you to see what Georgia Gwinnett College looked like. This is 20 years ago, 12 years ago, 6 years ago, 2 years ago, and that's what it looks like today. So you can see the ball fields over there and how much we've grown in that short time. So this is our administration building. It was there when we got there, when Georgia Gwinnett College got there. And that's the first day of school this year when we had a little carnival for the students. This is our Library and Learning Center that opened in 2010. The state only pays for academic buildings and libraries. So a lot of our buildings have been paid for by our foundation and then through student fees. This is student housing. And let me tell you, if y'all haven't been into a college dorm lately, it's amazing. It is not like any dorm I went to school in, I can assure you. They're like little mini apartments. They have ovens and, well, we don't have ovens. We have microwaves and refrigerators and flat screen TVs. It's fabulous. It's better than my first apartment. This is an instructional laboratory and sciences building that we had built several years ago. And the back of it was sort of, we called it cardboard. It really wasn't. But that was so that we could add on to it our Allied Health and Sciences building, which is our newest building. And it is truly beautiful. I invite you all to come out and tour the campus anytime. So, what we have learned since we have been here, and let me just tell you that you all have the best mayor and the best city council that I have ever come in contact with. They are amazing. Y'all did a great job when you've ever been in office, and they are so supportive of us. So we knew that Gwinnett understood the value of education. So we built GGC to meet those needs. In fact, with our majors, we have gone into the community and said, what do y'all need? What are you looking for? For instance, the law enforcement folks have to have a college education now. So we have a criminal justice degree. There's a nursing shortage all over the United States, but that's why we have nursing now. Same thing with teachers. They're needed, so we care. We focus on the 21st century professional, not somebody from, education is not today what it was in 1972 or 1982 for that matter. So in the United States, and particularly here in the South, manufacturing has kind of gone away. And that was a lot of what Georgia had over the years up until about the last 20 or 30 years. So it's important that we have majors that will help these students get jobs. There's no underwater basket weaving at GGC, never will be. You can see how the unemployment, how it's affected when you don't have a bachelor's degree. You see how high it is with less than a high school education, which you would imagine. And then as a high school graduate, and then as a college graduate with a bachelor's. Now we only offer bachelor degrees at GGC. We don't offer anything higher, and won't for a while, if ever. It's just not our mission. Again, you can see how the earnings go up. The green line, if you can tell it's green, at the bottom is is associate's degree, and the red line is with a baccalaureate degree. So you see the difference it makes, even going from the 2-year degree to the 4-year degree.